right, good morning and welcome to Flight Operations Flight Planning Center at Toronto Pearson Airport. My name's Jeff Lewis, captain on Flight 1764 from Toronto down to Georgetown, Bahamas on Exuma. Flying today with First Officer John Windmoller.
Morning.
And we're flying the Embraer 190. Then on this part of the flight plan here, we have our planning summary. Just gives an overview of what the trip's all about. We're cruising today at flight level 360. We've got our temperature deviation. That is our temperature with reference to ISA. So we're ISA +1 for this flight. Our great circle distance is 1224. And our flight plan distance is 1339. Estimated time en route is 3 hours and 7 minutes. That's our air time from wheels up to wheels down. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from the flight deck. Captain speaking. My name is Jeff Lewis on behalf of Air Canada. First Officer John Windmoller and our cabin crew would like to welcome everyone aboard Flight 1764, shortly departing for Georgetown, Exuma, Bahamas, where the only ice you're going to see is in your margarita.
Before takeoff checklist, flight controls. Ailerons left. Ailerons right.
Sorry, who was it called to ground?
Elevators up. Elevators down.
Julie Papa Go.
28.8 west at 1116.
80.
Roger.
B1, rotate.
Should be quite scenic when we get over the Bahamas and have a nice view of Freeport, Nassau, and some of the turquoise blue water of the Bahamas. I wish I was staying down there. Unfortunately, we have to come home. At Air Canada, we carry a book called the Route Briefing Notes, and it provides information on every airport that we fly into, just to give the pilots who are less familiar with certain airports a heads up on the operations of the airport, the smaller things, the differences between the airports and such. But I'll read you a couple interesting pieces of information that are in this book. And some of it can end up being quite humorous. For example, we have a section here that says, numerous small aircraft are parking in the vicinity of the airline parking area. To prevent launching small aircraft into the tropopause and ultimately the Atlantic, minimal thrust is recommended. So I just got clearance to 240. They're going to be coming back with lower in a second.
And checking that all the static wicks are intact and everything looks good.
In the middle, you have the magenta solid circle, which is your flight director, and then you have this green circle around it. That's your velocity vector. So if your velocity vector is on top of your flight director, it means that you're doing, or the airplane's doing exactly what the flight director wants it to. So that's very helpful in this airplane when you're flying approaches. Hand flying the airplane, you get a good idea of which direction your velocity vector is reference to your flight director, so you can make very easy corrections.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Verse green.
Welcome aboard Flight 970, Embraer 190 down to Havana, fin 331, civilian reg, Charlie Fox Hotel Oscar Sierra.
970, direct Oakville on course.
Direct Oakville on course.
There's open.
Activate it and nav mode, please.
Eagle Flight 3760, Toronto Center, 13562.
3562, Eagle Flight 3760, good day.
When we fly in the Cuban airspace, we revert to ICAO position reporting, and also, you know, we're flying now in the standard pressure region all the way down to the transition altitude, which will be between 3,000 and 5,000 feet. If they give us a visual approach, we just have to be very cautious not to line up with the military airport, because the main runway at the military airport is this roughly the same alignment, and the airports look very similar to that of Marty, Jose Marti International.
Havana 1337, Zomber 252, good day. Miami, good afternoon, TACA 360, flight level 360.
TACA 360, Miami Center, roger, after tadpole, clear direct Weaver.
Canada 970, descend flight level 160 and contact terminal 120.3, bye-bye.
Okay, flight level 160 and 20.3 here, Canada 970, good day.
Check 160, landing data. Runway 24. Reviewed and set. Right. So we're just keying in our performance numbers for our takeoff speeds. Basically, we key in how much fuel on board we're going to have, our estimated zero fuel weight, which includes our passengers and cargo, winds, temperature outside, altimeter setting, and then any other special settings we'd like to take. Dry runway.
And then the vertical profile, which is a really cool feature on this screen, is that down in the bottom half here, we're able to see where the aircraft is headed in a vertical path. So right now we're level, and then we're level at 39,000 feet, or flight level 390. So the screen here shows the next waypoint and the magenta line to that waypoint, and then the white line is the next active waypoint. But if the aircraft, if there was an altitude change, or if the aircraft was in a climb or descent, we'd see a picture of that on this screen. So if we, for example, if we programmed another waypoint at, say, if we put Savannah at 30,000 feet, if I activate that, it's not going to change anything because we haven't changed our altitude selector. But you can see once I put 30,000 in, it should, there it is, there. It just takes a minute here to load up. You can see the top of descent, and then a line that would be going to Savannah, showing a vertical profile to cross the Savannah VOR at 30,000 feet.
Air Canada 971, Planet 10 mile final, descend to 4,000.
Kill Planet 10 mile final down to 4, Air Canada 971, thank you.
4,000 set.
Raj. So another example, Michael here has changed the aircraft configuration because he's extended the speed brakes. So now on our ICAS screen it goes to its full mode instead of the partial mode that we saw when we were in the cruise flight. So we get, when the full mode comes up, we get speed brakes, the vibration, the oil, the gear indication, and the APU indication pops up.
All right, well, we've arrived here in Toronto, and Michael did a great job getting us on the ground, and well-flown approach. It's a nice approach tonight into Toronto, pretty straightforward onto the ILS there, but well-flown, Michael.
Thank you, sir.
And it was a pleasure having all the fans of JustPlanes.com and World Air Routes on board Flight 971 from Havana to Toronto. Had a lot of fun, and hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.